Hey everyone, it's Rostic the Weatherman here, and I am going to give you the February outlook for our entire country. And first of all, I want to just quickly recap on January. It was a quite interesting month. We had a roller coaster ride with temperatures starting off in the new year with warmer conditions, and then kind of just having a roller coaster with going back from hot to cold, hot and cold, pretty much throughout the entire country, it seemed like, for the entire month. And then, interestingly enough, we had a lot of severe weather as well in the south that produced some tornado outbreaks and all that stuff. And then we also had that big historic snowstorm in the Pacific Northwest where Seattle and Portland got hammered with a lot of snow and all that crazy stuff. So January was an interesting month, nevertheless. However, it did end up being on the warmer side of things, unfortunately, because it's the middle of winter and it should be cold and not warm like spring. So, February, let's talk, or I'll talk. So, temperature-wise, it looks like temperatures are going to be divided from the north and the south. Across the northern tier of the country, anywhere from like the Pacific Northwest into the middle and upper Midwest, Great Lakes, Northeast, parts of the Mid-Atlantic are going to see cooler than average temperatures. And then across the southern tier, we're going to have warmer than average temperatures. So Carolinas, Florida, Gulf states into the Four Corners region, warmer than average conditions. And for precipitation, it looks like we're going to have a better chance of above precipitation across the Great Lakes region and into the interior Northeast. However, drier than normal area places are going to be, unfortunately, where the drought is still persisting across the south. So places from the Carolinas, Florida, into Texas, and into the Four Corners region. Unfortunately, not a lot of drought relief for you for the next 30 days or so. Unfortunately, not going to be a big relief when it comes to rain, unfortunately, for those areas. So, now you're probably wondering, alright, where's winter? Because we want winter, and there's like flowers popping up like everywhere across the country. Well, not everywhere, but a lot of places are seeing like buds on trees and just daffodils popping up. So I think February, it looks like, well, at least it looks like, that we're going to have a bit more storm activity coming into the Midwest and Northeast. Hopefully we're going to have enough cold air associated with those storms, maybe 2 or 3 storms in the month of February. Later on, though, not in the first week or so, but later on, a couple of storms come across the country or drop out of Canada, and hopefully cold enough air will wrap around the storms and produce a good dose of snow for places along the I-95 corridor and going into Cleveland, Detroit, and Chicago, Minneapolis. Those places that have not really seen a lot of snow, especially along the I-95 corridor, hopefully can have at least a good dose of snowfall for part of February. But a lot of that activity is going to happen most likely in the next 2 or 3 weeks, so the latter part of the month itself. So with that said, the beginning of February, it looks to be like warmer than average for the first like couple days to maybe week, and then it'll predicted to cool down, especially across the northern tier, back to average temperatures in the 20s, 30s, and 40s. And then in about a week or two, hopefully the storms start brewing and all that, so we can get some good storms and some good amount of snow to help places that need it, like ski resort areas, and just, yeah, I don't know. Ski resort areas across the east are not doing so well, I've heard, because it's just too dang warm outside. And places in the west they started off pretty bad. They've been getting a bit better, but still not as much snow as last year or the previous year or anything. So just the whole country is pretty much just snow-starved this year. So hopefully this month we get a couple good storms that bring the country a good amount of snow, so we're all happy and it's like, oh, it's winter and not like springtime, and all that stuff. All right. Well, in about 2 weeks or so, I do want to post a video up to give you the spring outlook, and that will be for like March, April, May, just to give you a heads up on when spring light temperatures are going to come into the picture, and forecast for just like the Cherry Blossom Festival that happens in DC, and pretty much just what you can expect spring light to be across the entire country. I'll give you a whole entire outlook in about 2 or 3 weeks. So other than that, enjoy the month of February, and hopefully just pray for some snow, because I think a lot of people just want to see at least some snow before the winter is out.